to Mr. Weber of Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With great respect for my friend from California, who is from the best named city there, Sherman Oaks, I want to address the idea that there's a brewing controversy over drilling and selling natural gas. And I want to bring my colleagues' attention to the fact that when President Bill Clinton was in office, there was a controversy over drilling in the Anwar. And a lot of the comments, and I think my colleague from California said, the brewing controversy of drill, baby, drill. There was a bumper sticker that was very prevalent in Texas back during the controversy over Anwar that said, drill here, drill now, pay less. Joaquin, you might remember that. And the comments were made, those who were against drilling in Anwar, that, look, it would take 10 years for any of that oil to reach us. By the time the permits were done, by the time the pipeline was built, by the time production was done, it would be 10 years before we'd see any of that oil. It's pointless. And so if memory serves me correct, Bill Clinton left office in 2001. Had we drilled then, we would have the benefit of that energy now. I think this current crisis points up the fact that it is indeed a controversy that when America can become energy independent, it not only serves to create jobs in this country, which we sorely need right now, but it also produces energy independence, national security for America, and even produces national security around the world. Ask our friends in the Ukraine if they would rather be buying LNG, and I have 3 LNG plants either in my backyard or in my district. Ask them if they would rather be buying gas from America or the Russian bear, as Judge Poe called him. I think that answer is pretty straightforward. We cannot, in my opinion, ignore the fact that this is a national security controversy, if we want to use my colleague's words from California, but that it is an important one that needs to be had. And had we drilled in the Anwar 15-plus years ago, we would be in a lot better shape. The world would be a safer place. So the question I pose, 10 years from now, are we still going to be saying, oh, we've got this brewing controversy about drill for natural LNG and natural gas and export it to other countries? It means jobs for us. It means a balance of trade for us. It means national security for us. And it means, I would argue, it means international security around the world, so that the kinds of things that we saw Putin do to the Ukraine in cutting off their energy supply cannot be done. Now I'm going to switch gears to Part B. When you have a Crimean legislature that votes unanimously to be annexed into Russia, where are the people to stand up and say no? And I was told by one of my colleagues when we last had this discussion, well, if you had a gun aimed at your head, you'd say no too. You would have joined, voted for annexation. And I reminded him that 56 signers of our declaration signed their name to a document, stuck their finger in the face of the eye of the biggest tyrant in the world, King George back then, this big, most powerful country with the most powerful army. And in signing that declaration, they signed their death warrant knowing that they would either be shot on sight or hung as a traitor. If people in Crimea did not want to be annexed, where were the voices to stand up and say no? So it troubles me that we're guaranteeing them money, and that we're getting involved, as my friend from California, Congressman Rohrabacher, says, in a situation where clearly it seems as if either they were unwilling to stand up and fight for their own liberty or unwilling to pay that price, and yet we're going to get involved and we're going to get between the two. That's very troubling. I have great respect for Chairman Royce. I've been overseas with him and watched him amongst the other countries and the knowledge he has and the way he's respected. So I'm going to wrestle with this one. And I have great respect for my colleague, Mr. Sherman, from Sherman Oaks, the best named city in California.
Gentlemen, yield?
I will yield.
We're about to have hearings on the whole issue of energy exports. My hope is to keep that out of this resolution here because it can be controversial. Had we drilled in Anwar, there are various things that would have happened, but I think that Russia would be earning just as much for every barrel of oil that it exports as today. I don't think it would have affected world prices. And I would point out that in Japan now, they're paying triple what we are for natural gas. They're paying 1.5 times what they are in Germany, and I doubt that we're going to see a decline in what Europe is willing to pay for Russian natural gas, knowing that the Japanese are there as potential buyers. I yield back to the gentleman.
I thank the gentleman for his comments, and Mr. Chairman, I will shut up and yield back. Thank you.
Thank the gentleman from Florida.